What's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about something that I've been talking about in a lot of my previous videos, and that's game file sizes and whether or not 1 terabyte of hard drive storage is enough anymore. Now, if you guys watch my builds, you know, in the majority of my lower end builds, you know, that $500 to $800 range, I usually recommend you guys to get a 1 terabyte WD Blue, 1 terabyte of any type of storage, whether it be Seagate or Western Digital, what have you. Typically, I would think 1 terabyte is enough, but you guys have been noticing over the last year or so that I've been prefacing by saying that game file sizes are increasing, so you might want to pick up a 2 terabyte or 3 terabyte drive instead of your typical 1 terabyte drive. Now, 1 terabyte hard drive is only like $50, so it's at a very reasonable price point, and picking up 2 terabytes is about $80, and then 3 terabytes is about $110, and you can obviously get these on sale and get it even cheaper. I've seen a 1 terabyte hard drive as low as $40, 2 terabytes as low as $60, and I've seen 3 terabytes as low as $80. But what I want to discuss in this video is whether or not 1 terabyte is enough. You've been seeing games like Titanfall, The Witcher, Call of Duty even being really big in terms of file sizes. I remember when I preloaded Titanfall, it was like 35 gigs, and I was like, alright, that's not that bad. 35 gigs for a game isn't too bad. And then the game came out and it had to unpack 30 gigabytes of audio, and I was like, holy shit, this game is 65 gigabytes. And I had initially preloaded that game on my SSD, and I only have a 120 gigabyte SSD, so you can see how that turned out. But it's just crazy how like rapidly games are increasing their file sizes. I guess it is partly in due to the move to the next generation, because now the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 both ship on Blu-ray discs, and Blu-ray discs I believe hold 50 gigabytes of content, while back in last generation the Xbox 360 would ship in standard DVD, which I believe only held 8 gigabytes, and then there was dual layer DVD which held, I think, 16 gigabytes. I may be mistaken in some of the exact numbers, but you guys get the idea. And now Witcher 3 is coming out. That game's probably going to be like 35 gigabytes. I know the preload is only 24 gigabytes, but the preload isn't always the exact number, because when the game comes out, you also have to unpack some content, so it turns out to be usually a little bit more than what the preload advertises. Just look at Titanfall. Like I said, it was 35 gigabytes when I preloaded it, but then I had to unpack 30 gigabytes worth of audio content, and the game turned out to be 65 gigabytes. And then Titanfall had a bunch of DLC too, so the game actually ended up being like 70 gigs when all was said and done. And then you see games like Battlefield. Battlefield 4, I believe, was like 25 gigabytes, but then all that DLC came out, and then the game ended up being like 35 gigabytes, so that's a lot of storage space. And I know a lot of you guys are okay with deleting, reinstalling games, just, you know, installing the games you're playing at the moment, but to me, I like to have everything installed. I don't know why. It's kind of just a nitpick of mine. You know, my Steam library, I like to have all of that installed, and I have like 300 games on Steam, and you guys can get the idea of if I want to have everything installed, I need a big hard drive. For a while, I only was using a 1 terabyte hard drive. I think this was 6 months ago, and especially somebody like me that records a lot of videos, uploads a lot of videos, live streams, all that kind of stuff, and I like to have everything archived, that terabyte was just like nothing. It ended up being where I only had like 100 gigabytes to actually use for games. So I picked up a 3 terabyte hard drive about 6-7 months ago, and yeah, now I can have all my games installed, and it's a lot nicer. But I think for a lot of people, if you're the kind of guy that buys all the new releases, you know, I know there's a lot of people that just have a PC and then their main games are League of Legends and Counter-Strike or games like that, and then they'll only play 1 or 2 new releases every couple of months. So 1 terabyte would be fine for you. You guys don't even, you know, some of you guys obviously don't even upload YouTube videos. You guys don't record anything. So, you know, 1 terabyte for a lot of you guys is probably perfectly fine. But for a lot of us that play all the new releases, you know, a lot of us have YouTube channels. Like, YouTube is becoming so popular. Like, just about like everybody's doing it. Live streaming is becoming really popular. A lot of people are doing that. And if you want to archive all your content, you know, 1 terabyte, it's not a lot of content, to be perfectly honest. And then a lot of people recommend you to get just SSDs in a build, and that's what I'm saying. We're really not at that point where we can just have an SSD in a build. Obviously, there are 1 terabyte SSDs, but they're so expensive that it just makes more sense to get, you know, a 100, 240 gigabyte SSD and then get a mechanical hard drive, whether it be 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, 3 terabytes, what have you. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that 1 terabyte is still enough? Are you the kind of person that just keeps a couple games installed at a time, then you delete them when you're done with them? Personally, I like to, you know, I never know when I want to go back into a game and replay it again, and I don't want to wait to have it to re-download. Or if somebody comes over and they want to see a game, I don't want to make them wait, and, you know, while I download a game or something like that. I just like to have everything downloaded. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you like, leave a like. If you want to be up to date with when I upload, hit that subscribe button. If you didn't enjoy this video, obviously dislike. Comment down below with your requests for future videos, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Peace.